Bike Week 2026, February 27, March 8. We are excited to embark on our 85th anniversary. The official dates and logo have been announced and are featured here. Be sure to check this site again for official sponsors, official information, and official gear for this great new Bike Week festival in 2026. Daytona Beach is a city on Florida's Atlantic coast. It's known for Daytona International Speedway, which hosts February's iconic Daytona 500 NASCAR race. The beach has hard-packed sand where driving is permitted in designated areas, near the boardwalks, rides, and arcades. Daytona Beach Banshall stages free summer concerts. Steps from the beach. Daytona Lagoon Water Park offers go-karts, laser tag, and water slides. To help plan your Bike Week trip, check out our Bike Week travel guide. The Daytona Beach area boasts more than 200 properties and 12,000 rooms, with oceanfront resorts and cottages and everything in between. Finding the ideal place to stay in Daytona Beach has never been easier. Choose from a variety of accommodations that suit your style and budget. Daytona Beach hotels, motels, bed and breakfasts, condo hotels, vacation rentals, and campgrounds, RV parks. While Daytona Beach has plenty to offer motorcycle enthusiasts, there is an abundance of adventures to be discovered year-round in the destination. While known for its world-famous beaches and auto racing history, it also has a diverse selection of attractions, a rich arts and culture scene, outdoor activities, shopping, and a wide variety of culinary offerings. Must-do sites within the Daytona Beach area include the Smithsonian-affiliated Museum of Arts and Sciences, the Ponce Inlet Lighthouse, the tallest in Florida, the Daytona Aquarium and Rainforest Adventure, and the iconic Daytona Beach Boardwalk and Pier. Try your luck at Daytona Beach Racing and Card Club and get your shopping fix at the Tomoka Town Center and Tanger outlets, and in downtown Daytona Beach, where you can also explore the Riverfront Esplanade, a mile-long botanical garden that runs alongside the Intracoastal Waterway. The Speedway offers a full week of racing excitement, including the BMW Legends of Racing, dirt track races, the Daytona Supercross by Honda, the Harley-Davidson Twin Sports, 600cc Super Sport International Challenge, and the Daytona 200 by Rai. Other events include the Harley-Davidson Museum, Indoor Show and Dresser Light Show, and several other motorcycle shows including vintage and custom bikes, European and Japanese motorcycles, sidecars and trikes. There are concerts, fashion shows, technical seminars, and demo rides. You can join in a poker run, go to a motorcycle swap meet, learn how to stud your duds, or enjoy one of the several free barbecues. While visiting here, the cyclists travel north to St. Augustine, south to the Kennedy Space Center, and west to Orlando and even Tampa. However, one of the biggest activities of Bike Week is watching the other people and their machines, especially on Main Street in Daytona Beach. Mark your calendars. Bike Week 2026 will roar into Daytona Beach from February 27th to March 8, 2026. As you gear up for the excitement of Bike Week 2025, we want to ensure you've got next year's dates locked in. Start planning early to join thousands of motorcycle enthusiasts for 10 days of live music, scenic rides, and unforgettable events. This legendary event is one you won't want to miss, so be sure to save the date. Whether you're a returning rider or a first-timer, Bike Week 2026 promises to deliver the full-throttle experience that only Daytona can offer. Keep an eye out for more details coming soon. Happening throughout Daytona Beach, Florida, from the beach to the world-famous Daytona Speedway and beyond, the Daytona Bike Week Motorcycle Rally is one of the biggest motorcycle events in the country, with over 500,000 motorcycles rolling into Daytona in the spring for Bike Week. There is something for everyone, including old-school biker parties, motorcycle races, concerts. I had the pleasure of sitting down with the team to discuss the ins and outs of organizing Bike Week. As someone deeply involved in the event, it was an exciting opportunity to share the behind-the-scenes efforts that make this iconic motorcycle festival a reality. Bike Week attracts nearly 500,000 riders from all over the world, and it's my mission to ensure that every attendee has a safe and unforgettable experience. From coordinating with vendors and sponsors to managing the logistics of such a large event, There's a lot that goes into making Bike Week run smoothly each year. I also talked about my journey as a Daytona Beach native and how I've worked to transform our hometown into a premier global tourist destination. As the founder of Biketoberfest, I've seen firsthand how a vibrant celebration can grow and thrive with the right mix of passion and dedication. In this podcast episode, I delve into the exciting plans we have for both fun and safety at our events.
Taking a live look at our camera in Daytona Beach, 500,000 bikers are starting to make their way to the area for the 84th annual Bike Week. The week-long event kicks off officially tomorrow with plenty of entertainment spread out all around. News 6's Molly Reed is on Main Street in Daytona Beach with a look at what's ahead.
It's a vacation, you know?
And a little bit of sunshine.
Right, a lot of sunshine.
Whether a local on a vacation or an escape from the cold up north.
Hear the sound? The sound never goes away because it's Bike Week.
The crowds will take over areas in Daytona Beach, DeLand, Ormond, and beyond. What do you think so far?
It's crazy. Happy to be here. It's everything I expected.
Of course, for the businesses here in Daytona Beach, especially on Main Street here, Bike Week, the big money maker.
This is our Black Friday. It's a little bit longer than one day, but this is our Black Friday, and it definitely boosts business.
Probably the longest vendor in the street, well over year round. Bike Week represents a lot of income for a lot of people. It ain't just us on Main Street, it's all over, the restaurants, the hotels. Everybody depends on it.
Now, just last week, the city held a meeting, actually, that over 100 business owners showed up to. And many are still wondering what will happen to future events. The city is considering changes to parking regulations and increasing vendor fees. It wouldn't affect Bike Week this year, but events going forward, if anything officially passes the commission.
Everybody wants a little piece of the action, but you just got to play the game with the city.
But going forward in this week, of course, the other thing at the top of mind is safety.
Somehow we have folks that come into town and wherever they're going is more important than anything else. So because someone cuts you off in traffic, it shouldn't invoke a violent response. Wherever you go throughout the city over the next 10 days, please be patient.
In Daytona Beach, Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed getting results, News 6.
So important if you're out on the roads because you will see tons of motorcycles out there.
But when you talked about those numbers, 500,000,
it's a lot.
A lot of patience.
I had the pleasure of sitting down with the team to discuss the ins and outs of organizing Bike Week. As someone deeply involved in the event, it was an exciting opportunity to share the behind-the-scenes efforts that make this iconic motorcycle festival a reality. Bike Week attracts nearly 500,000 riders from all over the world, and it's my mission to ensure that every attendee has a safe and unforgettable experience. From coordinating with vendors and sponsors to managing the logistics of such a large event, there's a lot that goes into making Bike Week run smoothly each year. I also talked about my journey as a Daytona Beach native and how I've worked to transform our hometown into a premier global tourist destination. As the founder of Biketoberfest, I've seen firsthand how a vibrant celebration can grow and thrive with the right mix of passion and dedication. In this podcast episode, I delve into the exciting plans we have for both fun and safety at our events. My connection to the biker community is something I hold dear, and my enthusiasm for Bike Week and Biketoberfest is something I'm eager to share with all of you. Join me in this engaging discussion on One Gang Worldwide, and get an insider's look at what it takes to make Daytona Beach the ultimate destination for motorcycle enthusiasts from around the globe. You won't want to miss it. Bike Week 2026. February 27, March 8. We are excited to embark on our 85th anniversary. The official dates and logo have been announced and are featured here. Be sure to check this site again for official sponsors, official information, and official gear for this great new Bike Week festival in 2026. Daytona Beach is a city on Florida's Atlantic coast. It's known for Daytona International Speedway, which hosts February's iconic Daytona 500 NASCAR race. The beach has hard-packed sand where driving is permitted in designated areas, near the boardwalks, rides, and arcades. Daytona Beach Bandshell stages free summer concerts. Steps from the beach. Daytona Lagoon Water Park offers go-karts, laser tag, and water slides. To help plan your Bike Week trip, check out our Bike Week travel guide. Daytona Beach International Airport is a Volusia County-owned facility located 3 miles southwest of the central business district of Daytona Beach. It is adjacent to the Daytona International Speedway and serves as a great alternative for visitors looking to avoid the larger airports of Orlando and Jacksonville. The airport's proximity to parking and lodging, as well as its compact layout with shorter distances between ticket counters, ground transportation, baggage claim and terminals, makes airline travel more enjoyable. We want to ensure you've got next year's dates locked in. Start planning early to join thousands of motorcycle enthusiasts for 10 days of live music, scenic rides, and unforgettable events. This legendary event is one you won't want to miss, so be sure to save the date. Whether you're a returning rider or a first-timer, Bike Week 2026 promises to deliver the full-throttle experience that only Daytona can offer. Keep an eye out for more details coming soon.
The dark side of Daytona Bike Week and motorcycle rallies in general. That's what I'm going to look at today as I navigate what happened this past year at Daytona Bike Week. Some of the incidences that were reported on, and at first glance, if you've never been to a motorcycle rally, you're probably thinking, why would anybody take the risk? Is it even worth the risk of going to these things? And I'm going to answer those questions specifically. Is it worth the risk? Is it too risky now? And one thing that they're not really reporting on whenever you see these stories, and so I'm going to cover that as well. And of course, this is aimed at people that have maybe never been to a rally or went to one. The experience was great, and now you're hearing all this other kind of stuff, so we can hopefully clear the air there. And of course, I want to hear y'all's experiences at motorcycle rallies as well. Let me know how they have gone for you in the past. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Well, let's talk about one of the biggest things that happened this past year at Bike Week, and that was the incident that happened between the Mongols and the Warlocks, I believe. So two motorcycle clubs, and they were at this gas station. Apparently the Warlocks were there first, and this big fight breaks out, and bikes are getting knocked over, and then all of a sudden, there's like 10 to 12 shots that ring out. And we get a couple of different camera angles, one from the street, and then obviously one from somebody that's at the gas station, and they run inside when the shots are flying. Unfortunately, they weren't injured. Now, the other part of it, fortunately, nobody's life was taken, right? There were some injuries, but nobody's life was taken there. There has been, I think, one arrest maybe so far of one of the Mongols, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, when you see this kind of stuff, you're like, okay, well, that's an instant no for me right off the rip. Nobody really considers the fact that motorcycle clubs are at every single rally. Before I go any further, clubs actually started the biggest rally that we know about, Sturgis. The Jack Pine Gypsies started in like 1938. They were a motorcycle club. They used to call them gypsy tours. So essentially, they would travel long distances, right, to meet at one specific spot, and that's how these things started, okay? And so that's how some of them started. And motorcycle clubs, outlaw clubs, they've all been a part of the culture for so long, and it's easy to get them all together. They're meeting on a weekly basis or whatever, so they're like, all right, we're going to meet here at Daytona, and then other people join and whatever. So the other problem is, too, most people see that and they associate that with all clubs, and that's just not the case. A lot of people that don't know anything about clubs, and I'm no aficionado here in this department, but I do understand that there's a ton of clubs out there that simply love motorcycles, right, and like riding with other people. They do events, they do charities. Even outlaw clubs perform and are a part of charities as well. So don't get the wrong idea and think everything is just so Sons of Anarchy, all the time. Yes, they have disputes. Yes, some things like that do unfortunately happen. But for the vast majority of clubs, they've been starting motorcycle rallies for a long time, and they will continue to go to them. And like I've said in the past, if you mind your own business around them and you're not, trying to start trouble, you're typically not going to get in trouble. Sure, wrong time, wrong place happens, but for the most part, mind your business, I think you're going to be okay. Now, the other part that some news organizations were highlighting was all of the accidents, and unfortunately, a couple of them were fatal. So I think altogether, 3 motorcyclists lost their lives. They said one wasn't wearing a helmet. I think there was an automobile, there was a car driver too that ended up losing their life. There was some stunt riders some amateur stunt riders that had some injuries and stuff. So I think there was like 1,300 emergency calls, 4,600 in total. There was 950 traffic stops, or 73 crashes total, and like 180 something trauma visits to Halifax Medical Center. Point is, when you see these numbers, you're like, dude, this is crazy. Why does anybody sign up for something like this? What they don't tell you, and I think the attendance numbers will come out in May, the official numbers, but typically you're going to have 400,000 people there, roughly. So out of 400,000, that's actually a relatively small number considering how many motorcycles are out there. The other thing to consider is, like, crashes went down from 93 in 2024 to 73 this year. There was actually 180 trauma events in 2024 compared to like 114 this past year. Point is, some of these numbers have gone down. Now, I know the mayor of Daytona Beach said, the attendance was down. But then you ask the vendors and they're like, a lot of them are like, no, we actually had a fantastic time, and they had a bunch of patrons. There's like this kind of battle between the establishments that are there year-round and the little pop-up places. Some of those establishments are like, these people just pop up, they pay their dues to the city, and then they leave, and I guess it takes quite a bit of business from the establishments that are already there. But that's something me or you can change, right? So that's kind of like one of the complaints when it comes to the amount of people. So while some of the established places were down, that doesn't necessarily mean that entire attendance was down. It just means there's more places to go to eat and shop, etc. So if you have a complaint about Daytona Bike Week specifically, I would say it's going to be the police, right? Loud music, arrests, making sure that you're stopped, right? You stop at stop signs, don't roll through them, because they will pull you. And I think there were 60 people just downtown, or 60 law enforcement officers downtown alone. So while the numbers seem astronomical, they're really going down. The attendance, from what we know, is been about the same. Maybe it went down a little bit too. The point is, anytime you get a lot of bikers together, there's a lot of drinking going on. You're going to have accidents and stuff happen, but it's such a small amount. It is no reason whatsoever to ever skip out on a rally, because I can promise you, you're going to meet people that are super cool. You're going to be able to ride cool places that you don't typically go, probably. You're going to be able to eat some good food, and if you want to, buy as much stuff as you want, ride motorcycles for free, do whatever you want. It's actually a fantastic time. So don't let those numbers kind of skew your perception of what they actually are, which, like I said, is just a lot of fun. So there you go. Bike Week 2025, for the vast majority of people, was actually a really great time.
Bike Week 2026, February 27, March 8. We are excited to embark on our 85th anniversary. The official dates and logo have been announced and are featured here. Be sure to check this site again for official sponsors, official information, and official gear for this great new Bike Week festival in 2026. Daytona Beach is a city on Florida's Atlantic coast. It's known for Daytona International Speedway, which hosts February's iconic Daytona 500 NASCAR race. The beach has hard-packed sand where driving is permitted in designated areas, near the boardwalks, rides, and arcades. Daytona Beach Fancial stages free summer concerts. Steps from the beach. Daytona Lagoon Water Park offers go-karts, laser tag, and water slides. To help plan your Bike Week trip, check out our Bike Week travel guide.